So good day everyone. This is our final requirements, the video presentation with the two topics, and we will discuss with my group mates Eliza Felix, Liza Corpus, and Reynald Reyno with Kuya Gilbert de Merecia. The first topic is the economic analysis of duck eggs incubation using hot spring as heat source. The outline of the topic is the introduction, materials and methods, in discounted measures incubators work, and the conclusion. Introduction. At present, there are more than 1.3 billion people worldwide that do not have access to electricity, and most of them are concentrated in Africa and Southern Asia. Due to unequal demand and supply of electricity, people are finding alternative energy source. Geothermal energy is a free and environmental friendly source of a thermal energy. Geothermal energy is already in the form of heat. It can be used as an alternative source of heat in agricultural and industrial processes. One of the agricultural application of heat is the incubation of poultry eggs. About 80% of the total duck production in Asia. The ducks are raised alongside rice farming and fish farming in Asia. These duck These duck eggs are usually incubated in conventional electrical incubators with the demand and availability of electricity. Balut producers are faced with the problem of continuous electricity. By replacing the electrical heater with a hot spring heat exchanger, the operational cost of the hot spring incubator, manually and automatic turning, was less than the conventional electricity incubator, locally manufactured in the Philippines. The hot spring heated the air through the heat exchanger and maintained optimum incubation temperature within the incubator. Now, uh, in this research said that 1.3 billion people worldwide cannot access the electricity because of the unequal demand and supply of electricity. Where in in our planet we have the 7.9 billion population. In totality, we have 16.46% that cannot access the electricity. These are concentrated in Africa and Southern Asia. Now, because of that, people find uh, another natural resources or a natural resources that can find anywhere. For example, this geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is a renewable energy source because it is continuously produced inside there. Now, this geothermal energy is a heat energy that can use in agricultural application. And one of the use of this is in the incubation of poultry eggs.
Materials and methods. Experimental setup. A potential site was located and tested to obtain the conditions of the site, such as the flow rate of the hot spring to the surface, the temperature of the hot spring, ambient temperature, and the wet bulb temperature. The potential site selected was located at Barangay Malintalos, Baños, with coordinates 14 degrees 10 feet 55.91 meters north and 121 degrees 13 feet 36.49 meters east. The small-scale hot spring incubator, manual and automatic turning with the capacity of 165 duck eggs was designed, tested, and evaluated for economic feasibility for balut and duckling production in Los Baños, Laguna Province,
Mute mo lang.
Philippines. Economic analysis of the hot spring incubator was evaluated on two settings: a manual turning hot spring incubator and automatic turning hot spring incubator. These two settings of the hot spring incubator were compared with the conventional electrical incubator which was locally manufactured in the Los Baños area. So isinagawa po yung experiment particularly sa barangay Malinta, Los Baños na may temperature and measure na 14 degrees, 10 feet, 55.91 meters north and 121 degrees, 13 feet and 36.49 meters east. Here, they experimented a manual and automatic turning hot spring incubator and they tested 165 duck eggs each. And yung dalawang yon is ikinumpara sa standard electrical incubator na gawa rin sa Los Baños.
Parameters of evaluation. Balutability is the percentage of the number of fertile eggs to successfully incubate for the period of 18 days period, divided by the number of fertile eggs. The fertile eggs were the eggs that embryos develop at 3 days after placing in the incubator at first candling. So, yung balutability, ito yung porsyento ng mga fertile eggs or balut na kung saan ini-incubate lamang sa loob ng 18 days. Kaya 18 days lang yung paggawa or pag-incubate sa itlog ng mga itik para yung embryo sa loob ng itlog ay hindi pa masyadong malaki at pwedeng kainin yung ducklings inside the egg. To compute the balutability percentage, ito yung formula na gagamitin. B equals number of balut divided by number of fertile eggs times 100%. Hatchability is the percentage of fertile eggs to hatch divided by the total number of fertile eggs. Yun. Kapag sinabing hatchability, ito yung mga fertile eggs na kung saan na-hatch or napisa inside the incubator. Para makompute naman yung hatchability percentage, here's the formula. H or stands for hatchability equals number of ducklings all over number of fertile eggs times 100%. Electricity consumed per day is amount of electricity consumed in a day or 24 hours. Sa madaling salita, ito yung pagkonsumo sa kuryente sa loob ng isang araw or 24 oras. Para i-compute yung na-consume na kuryente sa loob ng isang araw, ito yung formula. Electricity per day equals electricity consumed all over number of days. Economic analysis. The economic analysis took into consideration the estimated cost of the hot spring incubator when on automatic setup and manual setup. The results of the balutability, hatchability, and electrical consumption of the incubator were used to analyze the feasibility of the study by comparing the hot spring incubator with the conventional incubator. The economic analysis also took into consideration the actual prices in the market, the time of the study. The economic analysis used were break-even point or BEP and payback period or PBP for undiscounted measure and benefit cost ratio or BCR and internal rate of return or IRR for discounted measure. So, sa economic analysis, the researcher considered yung estimated cost or gastos sa paggamit ng hot spring incubator at kinumpara nila yung hot spring incubator and the conventional incubator na kung saan yung process of hot spring incubator ay epektibo pa or mas maganda ba kaysa sa conventional incubator in terms of balutability, hatchability, and electrical consumption.
Okay, undiscounted measures incubators work. 1. Break-even point. The break-even point is the point where neither profit nor loss is incurred. The incubator with the lowest break-even was selected as the best. So here's the formula of break-even point. It is the annual fixed cost plus unit available cost equals the unit benefit. Number two, payback period. The payback period is the period for recovering the initial investment cost plus the operation cost or the initial investment divided by the average annual net benefit. The incubator with the shortest payback period is the preferred. So the payback period okay equals initial investment divided by annual net benefit. Discounted measure are incubators work. The discounted measures involve translating the future values of cash flow into present work. Discounted measures of economic analysis are more preferred than the undiscounted ones. Number one, benefit cost ratio or BCR. For the discounted measures of the benefit cost ratio, the investment is said to be profitable if it is equals to 1 or greater than 1. Number 2, net present value or NPV. Net present value is computed by finding the difference between the present worth of benefit stream less the present worth of cost stream. Number 3, internal rate of return. The internal rate of return in criterion indicates that an investment should be carried out if that rate of discount would not make the present value of all revenues last at all costs, equal to zero to be higher than an appropriate interest rate.
Conclusion: the hot spring manual turning incubator can also be used on a small scale for hatching and replacement of ducks to sustain production without buying ducklings, and it can also be used for balut production. The developed manual turning hot spring incubator with no thermometer control device is highly recommended for low-cost operation of duckling and balut producer. It can also be built on a large scale for commercial purposes in Los Baños, Laguna, Republic of the Philippines. On a full-scale extraction of hot spring for incubation, the incubator can have the capacity of more than 4,000 eggs per outlet each, which could result in the total capacity of 1,200 eggs.